We're going to be doing a review of Astralis CT side middle on D Mirage. This comes from their match against FaZe at the FACEIT London Major last year. And the idea is that we're going to look to see what Astralis does on every gun round at middle and kind of make note of it. That way, at the end of the half, we're going to see what they did to kind of keep FaZe on their toes. So we're just going to get started here. This very first round, Device has an AWP. Has a good window spawn as well, and Glaive is actually going to help him peek middle here. So we're going to start this here as Device is going to be going to window room. Glaive is going to be throwing a really important flash that's going to blind top middle. He throws it from A, and that's the flash right there. There's the flash, and you can kind of see that FaZe is actually a little bit affected by it as Guardian was going to come up. And with this flash, Device can kind of peek middle more freely, as if a terrorist is going to continue to go up top middle, they're going to be blinded up. So Device just going to be holding top middle here, and then on this side the terrorists are going to throw a Molotov towards the connector, but Glaive is actually going to throw a smoke towards the bottom of the connector. I'm going to rewind that. So he throws the smoke at the bottom of the connector, and this actually helps him buy some time so that he can get into an aggressive A ramp setup with Magisk. And it helps him buy time because the terrorists can't just simply go up connector, as they'll have to go through a smoke connector, or they have to watch for him one wing and stuff like that. So Glaive is able to get into this aggressive A ramp setup with Magisk. And on the other side, Device here, he takes a shot through the window smoke as he can't really do anything anymore, and he just goes towards B. So this round here at Astralis, they basically just give up middle and play more aggressively on the sites, and more particularly aggressive at the A ramp area. So this very first gun round here, flash top mid from A, then they have an AWP window and an aggressive A setup. This next round here is going to be Dupree, Glaive, and Zipnix. And they're going to do something really interesting here, as all three of these players are going to be going through the window room. And what they're actually going to do here is they're going to triple nade top middle. So you can see here Zipnix is lining up the nade from the bottom of connector, Glaive throwing the nade from the window, and then Dupree also throwing the nade from the window. So 3 nades at middle, and they've basically kind of showed presence at middle, and then just going to fall right back into a more stacked setup of A actually, because Device, he has this AWP, and Device's AWP is actually at B alone. And if you look at all the Astralis members, Glaive has an AWP, and then Zipnix has FAMAS. So what they're going to do is they're gonna put the AWP at B and put all the rifles and weaker weapons at A. And the idea of this is so that if the terrorists come towards B, they're going to have to deal with Device's AWP. And if they go towards A, then they're going to have to fight 4 people. So the basic idea from middle there is that they triple naded top middle, and then they just fell from middle and went to a different setup. This next round here is going to involve 4 people. So Device here, he has a really good connector spawn. Dupree here is going to be has a decent window spawn, and Glaive is going to be going window with him. But Magisk is actually going to be throwing flashes that Glaive threw the other round. So there it is. There's the first one. And there's the second there. So as this happens, I'm going to rewind a little bit here. So Magisk is throwing those 2 flashes from top middle. Dupree and Glaive here. Dupree's actually just going to be jumping straight out of the window room, and Glaive is going to be posting up from window. So Dupree's actually being much more aggressive at middle. He's pushing up. And last person that we need to look at, Device. He had the connector spawn. So Device here, what he's going to do is going to smoke the bottom of the connector. He actually misses that smoke a little bit, but he was supposed to smoke the bottom connector and then post up top middle like this. And then Dupree would have been in this spot here. So basically there would have been 3 people fighting that same mid angle. So there would have been Glaive, and Dupree would have been pushed up, and then Device would be in this corner up there. So that's their setup at middle. Unfortunately, in this particular round, Magisk, after he throws his flashes, he gets some contact from Nico at A. And this kind of illustrates the power of this setup, where because there's so many people at middle that were aggressing, when Magisk gets this contact from A, these middle players are able to actually help A relatively easily, as they're basically all there at this point. Dupui's in connector, Device is also in connector watching Palace, and Glaive is already in jungle. So there's already 4 people in this site that FaZe had to deal with. And the idea of that round at middle was, you know, they flashed top middle from A, rifle window, and op connector, and they had a rifle pushing middle. So this next round just going to be Device and Glaive. So Device has a good window spawn, and there's a very key detail that he does here. So what he does is he Molotovs the corner of window, and this looks a little bit silly because he's basically Molotoving nothing, but the idea with this Molotov is it's actually supposed to cancel out a window smoke. So if he throws this Molotov here, if his window smoke comes in, it's actually, because there's a fire there, it's actually going to extinguish that fire and affect the trajectory of that smoke grenade. So it's basically supposed to offset or misplace where the smoke grenade lands and produce a gap in the window smoke that Device can actually exploit. So that's why he throws that Molotov there. Unfortunately, in this round, FaZe don't actually smoke window, and Device is just basically offing normally as there's a normal top mid smoke. But he's just gonna fall away and just watch Palace. And you also notice that in this round, Glaive actually didn't do anything to necessarily help Device set up in middle. He simply just Molotovs a ramp, and then he really just goes into a more aggressive A setup with Magisk as he throws the flash in, he nades it up. And then at this point, Device is actually going to fall from window, and he's going to be going more towards the ticket area, and Glaive is going to be going towards the connector. But essentially in this round, they're almost just giving up middle, and Glaive was just going to spot connector from where he was there. But in that round, the idea was that they were going to cancel the they were going to use the Molotov to cancel the window smoke. They're going to place an off at window, and then immediately go to a bit more of an aggressive A setup. So this next round here, Magisk, Glaive, and Device. So Glaive is going to be throwing a flash, the same top middle flash. Right here, Magisk is going to be jumping through the window. He's going to Molotov top middle and go underpass. And at the same time, we're going to rewind this. At the same time, Device, he's going to nade top middle here. And actually does considerable damage to Guardian, actually. So, and Glaive also is going to nade top middle to do even more damage. Although it didn't really connect to anybody in that particular instance. But either way, Magisk, when he goes underpass, he's basically just clearing this full underpass area. And you'll also notice that this is a done on a round where FaZe doesn't necessarily have a buy, they just have Beagles. This comes into play a little bit later. But in either case, Device and Glaive, they're not really contesting middle too much. They're basically, Device is just holding the cat angle like this, and Glaive is just holding connector. But in this round 8 here, the 5th gun round, they flash top mid from A, they molly top mid, the rifle pushes underpass, they nade top mid, and place an off in window. So this next round here is going to be pretty interesting, as Magisk is going to be throwing a top middle smoke for the CTs to get aggressive. So Xyp9x actually had a pretty good spawn. There it is. He had a really good spawn for window. So Magisk throws that top mid smoke. Xyp9x is going to go through the window, and then Glaive is throwing that top mid flash. And Xyp9x here, he's going to be tossing a grenade top middle. And the same with Magisk here at the same time. So 2 nades top middle. And because Xyp9x is up close, he can contest this smoke right away. And this is the smoke that Magisk threw at the start of the round. At the same time, Glaive here, he actually goes a little bit into the Molotov just to get this nade out. You can see he touches a little bit of that Molotov just to get that nade out, just in case somebody was coming in through that smoke to try to get the trade on Xyp9x. And after that, they just fall away from middle, they get their kill, and the idea of that round was they flash top mid from A, they smoke top middle from spawn, and then they double nade top middle, and they have 1 rifle push top mid and put a rifle at window. So this next round here, Glaive is going to be throwing a top mid flash once again. And Dupree and Dupree actually has the AWP this round. And what he's going to do is he's going to do the cat jump. And he goes on top of cat here. And he's able to get the first kill like this. At the same time, Device is actually joining him from window. Except he's actually playing in the window and he decides to nade top middle. And during this time, because there are two FaZe players coming through, Dupree gets one kill, Device gets another. And overall, there it is. They get another 2 kills, and then they just fall back. So that round there, they flash top mid from A, and then they do the cat jump from window, and then they nade top mid and then place a rifle in window. This next round here, Glaive is actually going to be going through the window room, and he's actually going to drop underpass here. And at the same time, it just also throws that flash top middle. Device is just holding top mid. He's going to nade top mid as well. But during this time when Glaive is pushing underpass here, he's going to spot some info at B. And then he's not going to be able to get away. It's a little bit of a mistake on his part. But in that round, they flashed top mid from A. The rifle did an underpass push. There was a nade top mid. They also placed a rifle in window. And actually, something I wanted to point out from there was, look at the buy of FaZe here. They don't really have any weapons at all. They just have pistols. And if you remember the last time when Mirage pushed underpass, this is also a very similar case. So it almost seems like Astralis, they want to be able to push underpass and get information at B on these save rounds. And I think the biggest reason for that is because for this player to go underpass and get the information on whether it's going to be a B rush or not is very vital. That way, if they're there, then they basically have, you know, almost 3 or 4 people that are going to be ready to fight, as the window player can just go mark it right away. If there's no information at all, like there is no terrace at the B side of halls, then they can all start overstacking towards A and get ready for a retake. So overall, I think this is a pretty good move. It's only a little bit risky if Glaive gets overrun like that, but overall, it's a really good fight to take, especially when you have a rifle and the other team has pistols. So this round here is going to involve all 4 people. So Device is going to Molotov a ramp. There's going to be 2 people going through the window room. It's going to be Glaive and Dupree. Mirage is going to be flashing top mid. So right here, going to be many things that are going to happen as Dupree is moving up towards top middle. And he's going to get ready to get aggressive and peek. Glaive is actually setting up for a flash here. So he's going to throw that flash for Dupree to peek. And if you want to look at Device's POV here, he did throw that Molotov towards a ramp. He's going to go towards a connector here. And then he's going to throw this smoke at the bottom of the connector. That actually cancels out the Molotov. But unfortunately, he mistimed it just a little bit as Guardian was able to get the kill off right away. But the idea was that he was going to be peeking top middle. Dupree was going to be peeking from the lower side with that flash that Glaive threw. So if you want to just go through the whole round once again. So there it is. Mirage going to be throwing that top mid flash. Dupree pushes down. Glaive's going to throw this flash. Then Dupree takes the fight on somebody lower. Device ended up dying, unfortunately, from connector. At this point here, Glaive's going to pick up the AWP. And this is a small teamwork thing here, but Dupree is going to be falling away along the catwalk, and then Glaive's going to just watch it for him. And Dupree actually has the opportunity here to check underpass as Glaive is holding this top mid part. So something very small, but very, very good. But the idea here was top mid flash from A. It's going to be a rifle pushing top mid, and there's a flash top mid from window. And it was a smoke connector and an AWP connector. So a lot of these things were all, they were prepared to fight FaZe at middle. So this next round here, just going to be Device and Glaive. So Glaive is going to be throwing a flash top middle like this. Device is going to be peeking window. And generally when it's pretty passive like this from Device, where there's only one player at window checking middle, Glaive is generally going to be more aggressive towards A ramp. So this is another example here where Glaive and Magist, they're getting aggressive A ramp. It's a much more aggressive setup. Device is going to fall away from window. And then he's just going to stack more towards B. So they're just leaving middle completely open at this point. So this round, they flash top mid from A. The op goes window. And then they go to an aggressive A setup and just leave middle open. So this round, round 14, another gun round. Device and Dupree here. They both actually have ops this round. So Device is going to go for the cat jump. Dupree actually throws that Molotov that I was talking about previously to cancel out the window smoke. So Dupree throws that that molly to cancel out the window smoke. Device goes up on top of the cat from the jump. And then Glaive is in the connector area. So far, Device here, he's just waiting for some kind of flash or something from FaZe to prompt him to peek. Dupree is holding Palace, and Glaive is just kind of floating between mid and connector. And we're actually going to let this round play out a little bit more because there's something I really want to highlight here. So right here, we're going to reverse back. Glaive is in this connector area, and Device is actually holding top mid this whole time. This flash goes off that Kerrigan throws towards the connector. Now, Glaive here, he actually recognizes that flash came through, and he's actually in a peek underpass area, and he peeks to find Rain in that corner there. Now, this makes a ton of sense if you think about it, because Device is already holding top middle. He has the information that nobody has crossed yet. Glaive recognizes that flash is coming through connector, and the only reason why FaZe would be flashing the connector there would be if there was somebody who was about to peek underpass. So Glaive was able to recognize this very, very quickly, and then he simply just wanted to take the fight because he knew it was likely going to be one player there. So very, very good awareness from Glaive there to recognize what that flashing meant. And after that, they get the kill, and that's pretty much it as they kind of fall away. But regardless, it was a flash top mid from A, and they had a Molotov cancel out the window smoke, and they had an op do the cat jump from window. So this last round of the half here, Glaive is going to be going through the window. Dupree is also going to be going through the window, and Glaive is actually going to be nading top middle here. Dupree is going to be taking some shots from window, and Device. I'm just going to rewind a little bit. Device here actually flashed top mid for them. Dupree's at window here. He's just taking some shots to the smoke, and this is actually a little kind of smart here because we kind of imagine this from the terrorist point of view. If he takes this shot through the smoke, if there was a terrorist on the other side, they might feel that it's safe to be able to cross towards the middle. And that's where Glaive would actually be able to punish them if they were crossing over. Glaive is just going to get a little bit more aggressive here, and he's going to be checking this right angle, whereas Dupree is checking this left angle. And the idea of that is because there could be a terrorist that sneaks through the side of this wall where this blue wall is, and Dupree would be able to catch him here. And if they decide to go more towards the back, then Glaive would be able to catch that person. So overall, this is like very, very good teamwork from them to recognize which angles are being watched, because Glaive knows that Dupree has this other side of the smoke. And overall, because of the setup, by Glaive having this information at middle and him already being at middle, as soon as Device gets his first kill here at A. So Device gets his first kill here at A. Dupree's going to be able to rotate. Glaive's going to be able to rotate. And once again, there's a situation where there's almost 4 people in the A site that FaZe have to worry about. But overall, that's pretty much it. As going through all these gun rounds, there's definitely a trend here where there's a flash top mid from A in almost all of these rounds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So doing this flash to top mid from A definitely seems to be a crucial thing that Astralis do. Another thing that they do on the rounds where the other team's saving was just upgraded pistols. You'll notice that there's always a rifle that pushes underpass. Right, these 2 rounds, there's a rifle that pushes underpass, and it could be for that very reason that I described before, where they want to get that information B, and if they hear that it's a rush, then they can be set up for it, and if they don't hear anybody, they can also be set up for either a good setup at A or a retake setup. So basically, they just want to be able to account for either of those cases where the T's either rush or it's either going to be an A exec type of deal. Another thing that you're going to notice here is that they do like to use their nades a lot. So triple nade top mid, double nade top mid. There's a lot of times where they're nading top middle. So also be sure to use the Molotov to cancel out the window smoke if you notice the other team's using the window smoke a lot, as it's a very effective way to be able to get good picks on the player's middle. And other than that, you can also see that another trend that they had was every time there was basically only one op in window, it would be an aggressive A setup elsewhere. So, off window, aggressive A setup, when it was only that. So that's definitely a thing where you can kind of see where if it's only device that's watching middle, Glaive will only throw the flash room, and then he'll go into aggressive A setup with the Magisk. But either way, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys were able to take something from this video, as middle on Mirage can be a little bit difficult to play. But I think Astralis here has kind of laid out a couple different things that you can do at middle to be able to make your time on CT side a lot easier. So if you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. And as well, if there's any ideas that you want for future videos, be sure to leave a comment down below, and I'll try to make a video detailing that topic that you described. So either way, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.